Hello everybody. Good morning. This is Mo and this is Mo Chat. Okay, this video is going to be a Mo's opinion time and I want to talk about predictions, okay? Also, it is 8:44 a.m. on a Monday morning. It is October the 3rd, 2016. Okay. Everyone try to remember about that daylight saving times, okay? We're supposed to set our time back an hour. I don't think it was last night. I think it comes up in November. I haven't looked at my calendar. I want to say it is November, though. I've got my calendar right here on the wall. When is it? Okay, that's it. Your daylight saving time is November the 6th. That is a Sunday. So when you go to bed that day in the middle of the night, you need to get up and set your clock back. Set your clock back. Many of your cell phones and your laptops, your tablets, stuff like that, it automatically does it for you. But your clock that you look at on the wall, which I have several of those around my house. Clocks everywhere. I love clocks. They don't set themselves, okay? You're going to have to get up and go over there and set that time back on your clocks. Either that or you're going to look like a fool all day long because you're thinking it's a different time than everybody else. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I want you to know that my time is correct so far. Okay. Because I had a discussion with Molly Myrtle Brown Bolt about waking me up so early this morning, but she was excited about her riddle thing, and lots of people waking her up, and now she will not quit talking. Okie dokie. That's okay. I forgive you. I understand. We all need to have a good time. Yes, and Molly Myrtle Brown Bolt is good at that. Okay. Now, on with our discussion about predictions. Okay. Number one. You see what's in my hand here? Do you know what this is? This is a spaghetti. It's a thin spaghetti, okay? I'm thinking I might should have got the thicker spaghetti to do this because it would have been firmer or more firm, but maybe I can do it with this thin. Okay, what I want to show you is kind of interesting. I remember a long time ago, back when I was in school, and we won't talk about how many years, but when I was in school, we used to do scientific tests. We used to measure how long it would take to break the spaghetti. Now, depending on the thickness of it, okay, if you had the thicker spaghetti, then you could call that your firm terra, right? Firm earth, right? Solid, thicker. And if you had the thin, then that would be a very, very thin fault line. Okay, and you could write that down on your paper to see what happens. And we used to measure by seconds how long it would take to snap that spaghetti. Now, my opinion time today is about predictions. Okay. First of all, in order to snap the spaghetti, you have to have something going on both sides, okay? First of all, if this side over here on your spaghetti is still, nothing going on there, and it's only that side doing something, well, as long as it's bouncing back, nothing's going to happen, okay? It's just going to tremble. It's going to tremble, okay? Okay, it's just going to tremble. But what if suddenly you have something big going on over here too. Okay. Now, what I'm relating this to is fault lines, okay? Now, imagine the spaghetti as a fault line and trying to predict when it will break. That's very difficult because it all depends on the amount of pressure on that point. And it doesn't matter which way it goes, okay? It doesn't matter. It can be north, south, east, west. It can be east, northeast. It can be west, northwest. Okay? Either way. But usually, when you're in a line, it's joined. Okay? It doesn't matter. I could take a piece of paper and draw lines on it. Usually it's joined, right? Doesn't matter which way you're going. And it doesn't make any difference whether you're talking about earthquake tremors, volcano tremors. When a volcano goes off, you know, I've heard a lot of people say there was no earthquake when it happened. There was a tremor, or there was a shock, or there was some kind of energy released. An earthquake is energy released. That's what it is. It is the reaction to the fault line moving, tectonic plates moving, shifts in a trench, a rock slide, energy released. That's what an earthquake is. That's what it boils down to. Being able to predict that release of energy, that is far more difficult than what people can imagine. Because, you know, Mo here, I'm just a simple person. Okay? I went to high school. I did 1 year of basic college. It was a community college. And I read a lot. And I collect books. Okay, I collect books from people around the world. I study science. I study earthquakes, volcanoes, the Ring of Fire. I study time. I really love the psychology of the mind and the relationship to time and how we feel about it. But people who study volcanology, volcanoes, or seismicity like earthquakes, those people, they have got to be on it all the time, and they are very hardworking people. And I appreciate their opinions, and I read a lot of their reports. But one thing that I have trouble with is that predicting when an earthquake's going to happen. Now, I understand that you can put machines everywhere, but what I don't understand is if they know an earthquake is going to happen, and they're predicting that it could happen, you have to remember the English language. You always hear people say, well, it might happen. Might, keyword here. It could happen. Could, keyword here. Keyword here, okay? Now, let's say that differently. It will happen. Okay? Will. It will happen. Will is your positive word, assertive word. It is saying that it will happen. You're putting a message out there. This is going to happen. When you are trying to predict earthquakes, I suggest that you are very careful with the language that you use, because if you say it will happen, and it does, well, great. Cool for you, you predicted it. But if you say it will happen and it doesn't happen, and it happens somewhere else, those people over there were the unwarned. Okay? I absolutely love people who study earthquakes and volcanoes. But Mo here, I want to be sure that I'm speaking correctly. When I talk about fault lines and all of that, and about them trembling and stuff, I want to make sure that I'm getting my point across as clear as I can. Because with all of that action going off, there's always a reaction. You never know when a fault line is going to break. You never know. I mean, you got so many things. There are so many causes, so many objects of interest going on. Volcanoes, quarry blast, surface explosions. And we all know about North Korea testing missiles, right? He sends a nuclear missile test going off, and it goes into the ground, and guess what? It causes a surface explosion. Well, we all know about these things. And so much of that going on all the time, it causes that constant tremor. And did you see what happened right there? The shorter that fault line is, my spaghetti, got a little bit firmer, huh? Why is that? Because there's less space between the action and the reaction. See, there are so many variables that are involved in this. So many. So we have to be careful how we say things. I want to tell several people how much I appreciate them. I absolutely adore that globe on your page. I don't know where you got that globe from, but I tried to download a globe on mine. It gave my computer a virus. I had to remove it immediately, shut down my computer because it froze it up to where I couldn't do anything. But that's okay though. I really don't care too much for those globes on there because it's kind of hard for me. I use my laptop and my tablet at the same time constantly. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. The globe thing, it just didn't work for me. I don't know. Another thing, Dutch Sense, I really appreciate your site. It's excellent. I did come to watch your report last night, and there was no report. So I hope that you are doing okay today. I hope to hear from you. And I will keep a watch out. I will keep watching, and I will keep reporting on that ring of fire because that's where I am concerned. And with Hawaii sitting right in the middle of all of that ring of fire, I worry about Hawaii becoming the pendulum. With all of this stuff going off around it. Remember what I talked about, the earth being a circle? Think about it, people. No matter which way you go. Kind of like a clock, isn't it? I think prediction is a very difficult thing. Think about it. This is Mo Chad, and this is Mo's Opinion Time. It is now almost 9 a.m. It is October the 3rd, 2016. This is Mo's Opinion on predictions. Have a great day. Be sure and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to send me all of your comments about anything. I absolutely love sharing information, and I like discussing great topics. Thank you for sending me this one. Predictions. Bye.